Wavescan, the International DX program from Adventist World Radio. Researched and written by Dr. Adrian Peterson in Indianapolis and produced in the studios of WRMI Shortwave in Miami, Florida. I'm Jeff White. Today on Wavescan, Elephant Radio in India, the 75th anniversary of radio in Lucknow, a profile of the Arab States Broadcasting Union, and our Japan DX report. Our opening topic here in Wavescan today is a double feature, Elephant Radio in India and the 75th anniversary of radio broadcasting in the city of Lucknow. Let's begin with the rather unusual story of Elephant Radio. This is what happened. Now, the city of Lucknow is these days the capital for the Indian province of Uttar Pradesh. Way back under the British Raj, two Indian territories were combined together and given the name United Provinces, UP. Then, under Indian independence, when many English given names were changed into Indian terminology, the province or state name became Uttar Pradesh, still with the same familiar initials, UP. In the times of ancient history, it is said, the original founding of the city of Lucknow can be traced back to the brother of a noted hero, Lakshman by name, who was awarded this location. When he established a small city, it was named in his honor as Lakshmanpur, which in time became Lucknow. These days, Lucknow is a large city, the UP state capital, and in many ways a fast modern city. Every 3 years, a huge religious event known as the Kumbh Mela is held rotationally in two different cities in this area. This is by far the world's largest religious gathering, and it's estimated that 80 million people participated in this massive Hindu ceremonial just earlier this year. Back in the year 1938, the Kumbh Mela was scheduled for Haridwar, on the edge of the high Himalayas. In those days, Haridwar was within the territory of UP province, though subsequently, part of this territory was split off into a new state known as Uttarakhand. In an effort to control the influx and movements of the massive crowds in 1938, the police chose to use communication by radio, and they obtained 3 sets of radio transmitters and receivers, which were loaded onto the backs of 3 elephants. All 3 mobile units were in communication with a temporary fixed control station nearby. This procedure is listed as the first occasion in India for the use of radio for police communication. Subsequently, police and army radio stations were established in many nearby areas, with the headquarters station located in Lucknow City. 3 stations were installed up near the Indian border with Tibet, and another station was located at Ratakona in the high Himalayas. This station was described at the time as the world's highest radio station at an elevation of 16,000 feet. Now, while we're still in Lucknow, we're reminded that their radio station, All India Radio, is currently celebrating its 75th anniversary. It was back on Saturday, April 2nd, 1938, that a new medium wave station was inaugurated with 500 watts on 1,022 kilohertz. However, AIR Lucknow was not the first radio broadcasting station in Lucknow. Back during the 1930s, a small radio station was constructed by the Department of Physics in the University of Lucknow. The station was on the air for just a short time each evening with a broadcast of radio programming. During the concentrated events of World War II, the British commandeered this radio transmitter, and they utilized it for their own purposes. The new AIR station in Lucknow was recognized at the time as the 8th radio broadcasting station in British India. It was launched on the air under the call sign VUW, though at one stage, a few months later, the call was listed as VULW. Soon after its inauguration, a 5-kilowatt medium-wave transmitter was installed, and then in 1955, a 50-kilowatt medium-wave transmitter was inaugurated. On the shortwave scene, a 10-kilowatt transmitter was installed at AIR Lucknow in 1958, and this was replaced by a 50-kilowatt transmitter in November 1992. However, of all the countries in the world, India is moving most rapidly towards the installation of digital radio stations nationwide, and Lucknow will, of course, move in that direction as well. Currently, AIR Lucknow is noted with the following medium wave and shortwave transmitters in the analog mode. Lucknow A with 300 kilowatts on 747 kilohertz, Lucknow C with 10 kilowatts on 1278 kilohertz, and Lucknow shortwave with 50 kilowatts on 4880 and 7440 kilohertz. Thus it is that AIR Lucknow celebrated its 75th anniversary just 5 days ago, last Monday.
You're listening to Wavescan from Adventist World Radio. Send your comments and reception reports to Wavescan, Box 29235, Indianapolis, Indiana, 46229 in the United States. That's Wavescan, Box 29235, Indianapolis, Indiana, 46229 in the USA. Or you can email us at wavescan@awr.org. Our email once again, wavescan@awr.org.
We have two updates on the situation with some major shortwave transmitter sites today. First, in an update from Victor Gunatilaka in Sri Lanka, he states that the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation has not fully completed connecting the Trincomalee transmitter site to the national grid. So there is a delay in using Trincomalee for the transmissions from Ekala, which we've been reporting will be shut down very soon. It shouldn't be long, though, and we still have a special program planned as a tribute to Ekala when the closure actually takes place. On the other side of the world, the TDF, or Télédiffusion de France, transmitter site in Montsénéry, French Guiana, South America, was closed down last weekend, March 31st. Now that the site has been closed permanently, some of the transmissions from Montsénéry have been switched over to the TDF transmitter site in Issoudun, France, including those of Radio Repubblica, daily from midnight to 0200 UTC on 9490 kHz.
Esta es Radio República, la voz de la resistencia en la lucha por los derechos humanos. Radio República presenta La Cuba que perdura. Un programa donde el alma nacional es la protagonista. La cultura cubana en sus diferentes manifestaciones. Los orígenes y los forjadores de nuestra nacionalidad. Los valores, las tradiciones y la historia.
Radio República from Miami, now via TDF in Issoudun, France, daily from midnight to 0200 UTC on 9490 kHz. And now an update on Wavescan's weekly transmission from WINB in Red Lion, Pennsylvania. The broadcast time continues to be on Wednesday at 3 p.m. Eastern Time on 13570 kHz. However, since North America went to summertime a few weeks ago, the new UTC time for the program is 1900 UTC, Wednesday, on 13570 kHz. You can also hear Wavescan at that time on WINB's live audio stream at www.winb.com. And you can even hear it via telephone at that same time by calling the U.S. telephone number 1-415-655-0846. That's 1-415-655-0846. Thanks to Hans Johnson for that information. Wavescan presents Focus on Africa, a year-long series of reports about shortwave broadcasting and listening on the African continent. In recent weeks, we've had several reports from the recent High Frequency Coordination Conference, or HFCC, in Tunis, Tunisia. Next week, we'll have an extensive report on the radio scene in Tunisia and North Africa. Tunis is the headquarters of the Arab States Broadcasting Union, or ASBU, which hosted the HFCC conference. Many shortwave broadcasters throughout North Africa and the Middle East are members of the ASBU. Today we have a profile of the organization, which we've excerpted from an ASBU video production. So for the next several minutes, we focus on the Arab States Broadcasting Union.
Since the mid-1980s, there's a noticeably unprecedented and ever-growing dynamic of the dissemination of images on the events taking place in the Arab landscape. Arab citizens can now follow live via television or recorded just hours earlier all that is occurring in any part of the Arab world. This was made possible thanks to the joint efforts exerted within a well-established professional organization, namely the Arab States Broadcasting Union. The Arab States Broadcasting Union was established in pursuance of a resolution adopted by the Arab Radio and Television Corporations during their first General Assembly held in Khartoum in 1969. The idea of an Arab professional union dates back to the mid-1950s. This is why the Arab States Broadcasting Union is one of the oldest joint Arab organizations. It holds an outstanding place among international and regional unions with which it has strong professional relations. The Arab States Broadcasting Union headquarters is located in Tunisia. Grouping all the Arab governmental radio and television corporations, it has kept abreast of all the evolutions that took place in the audiovisual field in the Arab world. And since 1996, membership has been extended to privately owned radio and television channels. The Arab States Broadcasting Union is the party in charge of organizing radio and television exchanges among its member corporations. This service has rapidly and significantly expanded over the years, to such an extent that Arab television stations are now exchanging among themselves 3 daily news packages, 2 weekly sports packages, alongside 1 economic package and 1 cultural package. The coordination of exchanges is carried out by one of the ASBU associations, the Arab Center for the Exchange of News and Programs, whose activities began on March 11, 1987. The Arab Exchange Center headquarters is located in Algiers. In order to broaden the field of exchanges, ASBU has opened up its channels to transmit its news packages to other world unions, such as the European Broadcasting Union, the Asia-Pacific Broadcasting Union, and the African Broadcasting Union. ASBU thus supplies its member corporations with a considerable amount of news items not only from the Arab region, but also from other parts of the world. This cooperation with other regional unions and with world news agencies has triggered wide-scale dissemination of Arab news all over the world. With a view to enhancing its role in the field of exchanges, ASBU uses satellite bandwidths that allow for the transmission of 8 digital television channels via Arabsat, 5 of the channels on C-band and 3 on Q-band. In view of the coordination of efforts and the means dedicated by ASBU, Arab viewers in and outside the Arab world can now follow live major events such as the League of Arab States summits, regional meetings, as well as major Arab and international sports events. Convinced of the importance of the field of radio, ASBU has designed a sophisticated exchange system providing a number of services. The system was inaugurated in May 2000. It groups 3 high-definition exchange channels and allows for the simultaneous real-time transmission of radio programs from one corporation to another, or to a group of corporations. It can also stage collective audio conferences among different corporations to coordinate multilateral and bilateral exchanges, apart from telephone communication and electronic exchanges of the corporations among themselves, with ASBU headquarters in Tunis and the Exchange Coordination Center in Algiers. The system has contributed to an important qualitative transition in the field of radio exchanges to such an extent that the volume of exchange programs has increased considerably and that it is now possible to provide live radio coverage of information as well as cultural and artistic events in the Arab world. The Multimedia Exchange Network over Satellite System, known as MENOS, is meant to provide radio and television exchanges at the national and regional levels in an easy, low-cost manner. It also provides a number of other important services such as connecting any television channel in the Arab region with its correspondents, ensuring fast, live news coverage, ensuring the satellite exchange of news and program material by means of the store and forward technique, providing high-quality audio channels through the voice-over Internet Protocol technique, setting up a radio and television archives system at the national and regional levels, providing Internet and Intranet capabilities, and providing distance training and distance learning services. The system also allows the establishment of a network connecting fixed or mobile, small-size, low-cost stations with a master station and star topology. In the field of engineering, OSPU provides important services to its member corporations, thus helping them keep abreast of the different technological developments. In this context, it has chosen the appropriate digital systems adopted by the member corporations for terrestrial or satellite transmission. Common technical specifications have been set up for the digital receivers in the Arab region so as to allow Arab viewers to receive multi-system programs on one single set. OSPU also coordinates the use of short waves by Arab radios in the Arab region so as to avoid interference. To this end, OSPU has launched a partnership program with the International Telecommunications Union to coordinate the distribution of terrestrial and satellite transmission waves used by Arab radio and television corporations. The continuous proliferation of satellite stations and the multiplication of utilized platforms added to the different transmission and encryption techniques have led to a greater gamut of choices offered to the viewers, though such a variety has resulted in uncertainty and extra technical and financial burdens. This new reality has had a more acute impact on Arab citizens living outside the Arab world, for they all seek to watch a maximum of Arab channels at the lowest possible costs. This can be achieved only through the establishment of common sites grouping the majority of Arab satellite channels operating via unified transmission systems, hence the need to introduce a coordination mechanism among Arab satellites. In this context, OSPU has started, in coordination with Arabsat, designing the specifications of a package of Arab channels operating on the satellites most commonly utilized by Arab communities in all parts of the world. OSPU is also in charge of coordinating among Arab satellite channels wishing to join this important project. Each group includes 10 television programs and 20 radio programs. Targeted coverage areas have been selected, as well as the most commonly used satellites for such coverage. One of the most outstanding services provided by OSPU is to negotiate, on behalf of its member corporations, the transmission rights of Arab, regional, and international sporting events at affordable prices that could never be obtained through individual negotiations led by separate countries. Once the collective transmission rights are obtained, OSPU assists member corporations in covering these events, providing them, when the need arises, with technical equipment and satellite transmission means, as well as other varied services. OSPU plays a decisive role in safeguarding Arab cultural identity through the organization of an Arab Song Festival, aiming at fostering authentic musical heritage in the Arab world and encouraging innovation in the field of Arab music. The festival is now an opportunity to publicize outstanding Arab musical production. During the festival, first prize is awarded for the best song and additional prizes for the best composers, musicians, and lyricists. In cooperation with the Tunisian radio and television establishment, OSPU organizes the Arab Radio and Television Festival, consisting of contests among radio and television programs, a radio and television market, seminars, and artistic events. At the end of the festival, prizes are awarded to recognize the best radio and television productions. Within the framework of its information specialization, and thanks to its continuous efforts to assist Arab corporations to improve their production, OSPU provides training sessions for radio and television professionals so that they can keep abreast of the audiovisual evolutions taking place in the world. The training sessions are organized by one of OSPU's associations, the Arab Center for Radio and Television Training, located in Damascus. The activities of the center have developed to such an extent that since 2000, it has organized more than 20 training sessions covering various programming and engineering specialties in the field of radio and television. To meet the needs of some member corporations, the center has even organized external training sessions away from the Syrian capital. owing to the outstanding role played by the Arab States Broadcasting Union as a professional union in the promotion of Arab audiovisual information, it has always enjoyed full support by the host country, Tunisia. In order to publicize its various activities, OSPU has designed a specialized website allowing researchers to have more in-depth knowledge of its structures, organization, and all the activities partaking of its endeavors to promote a quantitative and qualitative improvement of radio and television production in the Arab world. OSPU activities are characterized by effectiveness and professionalism. No wonder, then, that it holds a pivotal place at the level of joint Arab information work, and that it is one of the most successful specialized organizations within the League of Arab States.
You've just heard some excerpts from a video produced by the Arab States Broadcasting Union, which meets twice a year in different locations, along with the HFCC, International Broadcasting Delivery Organization, at the High Frequency Coordination Conference, where shortwave frequencies are planned on a global scale. You're listening to Wavescan from Adventist World Radio. Now let's go to Yukiko Tsuji in Japan with her monthly DX report.
Hello and welcome to the DX report of the month from Japan Shortwave Club, edited by Toshi Otake, and I'm Yukiko Tsuji. The first topic is a special QSL card from Adventist World Radio featuring tribute to Ekala. SLVC, Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation, is closing down their Ekala transmitter site and transferring to former Deutsche Welle site at Trincomalee. The exact date of closing is not known, but AWR is planning to issue one-time-only special QSL cards to reception reports for Wavescan program, which coincides with the last week of Ekala transmission. Reports should be sent to Adventist World Radio, Box 29235, Indianapolis, Indiana 46229, USA. Next are DX reports from our club members this week. Radio Republic Indonesia from Fak was heard on 4790 kHz on March 10th from 1046 to 1103 UTC in Indonesian. SIO rating was 353. Light music and talk were heard, and ID was given at 1100. Vatican Radio via Tinian, Northern Mariana Islands, was heard on 15595 kHz on February 23rd, from 1528 with interval signal to 1600 UTC in English. SIO rating was 453, then up to 454. Mass program was heard. ID was aired at 1530. Radio Japan via Tashkent, Uzbekistan, was heard on 11730 kHz on March 4th, from 1300 to 1330 UTC in English. SIO rating was 353. Program heard was news, followed by Radio Japan Focus. Radio Cairo, Egypt, was heard on 9855 kHz on March 8th, from 2130 to 2140 UTC in Arabic. SIO rating was 442. Music and talk program were heard. Radio Romania International was heard on 21500 kHz on March 10th, from 0500 to 0526 UTC in Chinese. SIO rating was 353. The programs heard were news, weekly news, world of culture, and kaleidoscope. Radio TV Tunisia was heard on 7225 kHz on March 1st, from 2032 to 2042 UTC in Arabic. SIO rating was 442. Talk program was broadcast. BBC via Ascension was heard on 12095 kHz on March 4th, from 2200 to 2250 UTC in English. SIO rating was 353. World News was on the air, followed by World Briefing at 2206, News at 2230, and World Business Report at 2233. Interference was from FEBC signed on at 2250 on the same frequency. Radio Transmundial from Santa Maria, Brazil was heard on 11735 kHz on March 10th from 10:05 to 10:27 UTC in Portuguese. SIO rating was 242. Local songs and the talk program were aired. Finally, Japan Shortwave Club will issue the QSO cards for the correct reports on our segment of Wavescan program. We are issuing QSO card by email to the report sent by email. Our address for your email report is jswcqsl@live.jp. I repeat, jswcqsl@live.jp. We continue to issue the printed QSO card by the same system as before. Your report should be addressed to JSWC PO Box 44, Kamakura, which is KAMAKURA, postal code 248-8691, Japan. $1 ILC or $2 for return postage will be appreciated. For this edition of DX Report, we would like to thank Mr. Yoshiharu Tanabe, Mr. Iwao Nagatani, Mr. Shoichi Tamane, Mr. Masato Tanaka, Mr. Mitsunori Kawazoe, Mr. Chiaki Shimada, and Mr. Satoshi Miyashita for sharing the information with us. Thank you for listening, and please join us for our next edition of DX Report of Japan Shortwave Club. I'm Yukiko Tsuji in Tokyo.
Our closing music for Wavescan today is from Sharif, a popular Israeli Arab singer. In this case, he was singing a live show in Jordan in 1996. Thanks for listening to Wavescan, the international DX program from Adventist World Radio. Researched and written by Adrian Peterson in Indianapolis. Next week, focus on Africa, the radio scene in Tunisia, Australian states on shortwave, Tasmania, and our Philippine DX report. A reminder that we have 2 QSL cards available for your reception reports on Wavescan, one from AWR, another from WRMI. You can send your reception reports to Wavescan, Box 29235, Indianapolis, Indiana, 46229, USA. That's Wavescan, Box 29235, Indianapolis, Indiana, 46229, USA. Our email address is wavescan@awr.org. It's wavescan@awr.org. I'm Jeff White at WRMI in Miami. Till next week, good listening, everyone.